So we hear a lot about building content for these personas based on the program. Simon, what's your take on that?
That's a great question. I'm a bit of a hobby horse on this one, actually, Chris. For years and years, marketing's been building content based on persona, and Costa mentioned it. The thing about ABM is that persona isn't actually quite enough. You really need to drill into the value stories, again, which Costa talked to, but actually we're talking about individual stakeholders. And if you're dealing with, as Jess referenced, the top tier of your client base, you have the ability to actually get into a deep level of understanding about what a customer is trying to achieve. And when we build value stories, our approach is to say, what are the few things that are causing problems for the client? What jobs are they trying to get done? What pain do they have? What outcomes do they want? And then align the offering you've got to that. And you're trying to understand just the 2 or 3 things that make you superior to the next best alternative, because you're focusing on a message that's compelling and actually will resonate with the client base. Marketing too often takes an almost a spray and pray approach to the way it develops its messaging. Drill into it. Walk a mile in your customer's shoes. In fact, one of the things we talk about is it's not enough to think about a customer. You actually have to think like a customer. And when you get to that level and you've got just those 2 or 3 things, then you've got 2 or 3 key rocks of content which allow you to build out a fabulous content strategy.
And Simon just mentioned 2 or 3 big rocks of content. Maybe you, Jess, do you have any examples of what that might look like for Marketo?
Sure. I think just as Simon was saying, stepping away from the generic sense of lead generation marketing where ebooks or a webinar is enough, one of the things by taking that deep understanding of the customer, we can turn that into a very tailored email, a tailored event, a direct mail piece. I think direct mail is something really big that's coming back with this ABM approach to marketing, as well as we start to see sales development or business development reps making really targeted self-made videos that express their deep understanding of the customer, and we see a huge lift in the conversion and the response that they get as a result of those personalized touch points.
So Costa, we talked about stakeholders, personas. Can you vary the way that you engage with them?
Most certainly. I think you kind of have to be honest. And Steve earlier started highlighting what those personas were, and Jess was just talking about resonating with each individual persona with specific types of content. The most important part is making sure that that content actually drives that value for each one of these individual people. For example, the end user, the person who's actually executing these campaigns on a day-by-day basis. They want a simple to use centralized platform where all their data sits in one area so they can very easily start to leverage cross-channel data to execute account-specific campaigns. What they then really want to be able to do with that is use that data to start providing statistics up the chain. One thing that we're actually really finding with account-based marketing, with organizations who are excelling in it, the end users are really promoting their careers by being able to take these statistics and prove to their CFO the results that they're getting. Their careers start to skyrocket as a result of that, and that's a very important value proposition for them. We also spoke about the individual decision makers or the influencers, and ultimately they're the people that really want to ensure that they've got ownership of that sales and marketing alignment at the account level. And being able to provide them a holistic view to ensure that they can manage that is really going to be something that's going to resonate with them. And finally, taking that information and ensuring that they're actually driving growth at the account level by being able to measure the ROI. We then have that final decision maker, the person who's actually going to sign off the piece of paper. Jess spoke about ensuring that we do things like direct mail campaigns to them, perhaps doing very personalized videos, but what's really going to resonate with them is ensuring that they're getting ROI, ensuring that they're getting growth, and they're actually expanding into these key strategic verticals or their current existing named accounts a little bit further. The last person we have is the blocker, and that's a tough persona to manage because the blocker is always going to resist change. What the blocker really needs is statistics. It's going to need content and value messaging around what it's actually going to do for their organization by centralizing things, providing efficiency, and promoting brand awareness. But more importantly, that blocker needs to ensure that it's actually going to be something that's centralized, not something that's going to spin off a new product, a new central database, or a new application that they need to maintain to actually drive these strategies and tactics.
Actually, there's one other thing about that, Costa, is that when you're targeting these folks, a true blocker a blocker is hard to get past.
Definitely.
Skeptics, on the other hand, are the people that you can convince. And that's actually where you want to get to with an account-based marketing program is identify who the skeptics are, the ones that are able to be convinced and changed. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, working with data and delivering facts and showing them that the change is possible and will give a solid outcome, that's when you get a great result from it. But focus on the skeptics.